How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Soccer Report podcast. I'm your host, Dante De Thomasis, alongside my co-hosts, Niko and Tony, and we bring to you another edition, TFC failure edition. But before we start, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Yeah, exactly.
And just for the record, I've been calling it since that game in Philadelphia last year. Okay, it's time for Vanney to go. Now it's really time.
Before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Cataldi Fresh Market, guys. Check them out at Islington and Highway 7. And their new up-and-coming location at Keele and Lawrence. You can't miss it, guys. They're the best. It's going to be unbelievable. Actually, even Pomodori season's coming out.
Can't miss Pomodori season. Come on.
Get your bushels at Cataldi. They're the best. Hand-picked. So they're going to be the highest quality.
And when you go there, let them know the Soccer Report sent you. You might get 10% off. Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, I think we're going to do a contest to win a bushel of tomatoes. It's tomato season. We'll give you more details after.
Yes.
I love it. Awesome.
Who doesn't like a bushel of tomatoes?
Absolutely. In tomato season.
Oh, come on. Can't be beat. Make some good sauce.
You know who needs a bushel of tomatoes? Vanney.
Yeah. Vanney, you know what? He needs to have a bushel of tomatoes thrown at him.
Okay. Now you're
there we go. Rotten tomatoes.
Listen, is the tournament's collapse on Vanney?
It is for me. It's the same as Juventus. It's on Sarri. It's always on the leader. At the end of the day, it's always on the leader. It's on the prime minister, the president, the coach. It's on the leader, so it's on Vanney for sure. And you can see, listen, at the end of the day, he's got quality players. If you can't win a tournament with that kind of quality, even without Altidore on, then you know what? You deserve to hit the road, and it's time for Vanney to go.
Yeah, you know what? Even talking about quality players, we did run into our fair share of injury problems, but you're right, we had our full defensive line there. Bradley healthy, Pozuelo, the new guy Piatti, they were all there.
Yeah, what happened to Bradley? He's another leader. He
had the one good game. The first game, it looked like he was turning back time.
Yeah, he was back.
And then he just went and crapped the bed.
Yeah, how does that happen? That tells me one of two things. Either he's playing injured and he never really recovered,
right?
And or the injury came back and he just tried to play through it.
Then again, it goes back to Vanney. Why are you playing him 90 minutes every single game, even in the group stage? Why are you playing him 90 minutes every game?
You got a stacked bench.
Even if Bradley says, I'm playing 90 minutes every game, you got to say, listen, you're not.
That's right.
Yeah. We're pulling you out in the 70th minute.
It tells you who's calling the shots. The players are calling the shots, and you can't run a team that way.
And how bad do you feel? I don't know if you guys felt the same way. I felt personally bad for a guy like Jadon Nelson. 17-year-old kid, just got signed at Toronto FC, and he gets baptized by fire by saying, okay, Akinola's hurt. Instead of starting Patrick Mullins, who's a seasoned veteran in the MLS at striker, they say, you know what, we're going to throw this 17-year-old kid in for his first ever TFC first team action in the round of 16 against New York City, and let's expect him to go nuts. How unfair is that to him?
You want to talk about killing the kid's confidence? Yeah. That's how you do it. You know what the problem with a lot of these coaches are? And I hate to say it, they're not educated coaches. And by that, what do I mean? They don't work on developing kids. They work on talent that's given to them that's 18, 19, 20 years old, and they expect them to be fully formed and developed. And in North America, that is absolutely not the case. It may be in Europe where a kid is completely engulfed by soccer from age 13 on, where he joins a club academy, and he basically lives with the academy. He breathes, eats, drinks, sleeps soccer. Doesn't happen in North America.
Even then, how many of those 17-year-olds do you see playing in the main leagues?
Yeah, very
not
few.
Many.
You're right.
Niko,
you're right.
It's ridiculous, though. Like, I even said, too, Jadon Nelson looked clueless out there. And it's not his fault.
He didn't have a bad game
compared
to everybody else.
No, but
everyone else
wasn't
played terrible.
involved in the play.
Yeah, but you can't fault him
But that's the thing, right? So there's no chemistry there, right? When has he had reps with the starting team? Never.
And again, it's unfortunate Akinola got hurt because he was playing
on fire.
amazing.
He was on fire.
He's doing great.
But it's unfortunate, but the show goes on.
All these strikers unfortunately got hurt. Acharo was hurt, right? He had surgery.
Altidore playing hurt.
Yeah, Altidore playing hurt. Yeah. But at the end of the day, still, with a stacked bench like that, there's no way they should have been eliminated.
No, I agree.
I agree. I don't think New York is that much better. And plus, they looked hungrier and they deserved it and they wanted more.
We spoke about it in the group stage. Vanney's tactics, his substitutions, all didn't really seem like it was gelling. There was something missing. They looked good in the group stage the first two games, the game against Montreal, the game against DC, and even the game against New England. Even though they tied a few of them, they looked good.
Yeah.
And then they played New York, and they didn't look at all. Like, can you just rule it out as a bad game? But in that scenario, are you allowed to have bad games?
No.
No,
Never.
absolutely not. You know, this is professional level, and you can call it whatever you want. You can call it C level, B level soccer on a world scale. But at the end of the day, it's the highest level of soccer in North America. You know, a lot of people say it's as high, if not higher, than the Mexican league. So listen, you've got to perform. You got to come every single day. People are paying to watch this. Not now, obviously, because of COVID, but. You know, it's a professional league. You got to perform at the highest level every single game.
So I want to put my tinfoil hat on for a second again to some conspiracies here.
Yeah.
The group stage counted to regular season point totals, so they were important. So you can see Toronto tried there. Round of 16, the rest of the tournament doesn't really matter other than winning the tournament.
Right.
Do you think maybe Vanney and co thought, you know what, with the way Florida is in COVID, maybe we just bow out round of 16, get the hell back to Canada, and just watch the rest of the thing go by?
You know what? That's a loser's mentality.
It is, 100%. But really, what is the tournament?
It's like when people play for first-round draft picks. A real champion and winner, and you can go ask Michael Jordan in basketball, never plays to lose. You always play to win. And it doesn't matter if you lose and you get a first-round draft pick. Michael Jordan played to win. And I think every sports athlete should have that exact same mentality. And if you don't deserve to be playing in the major leagues, any major league.
I agree, but I'm not talking to athletes playing. I'm talking to coaches.
No, that's what I mean. Well, listen,
Like,
he
you
was a
got Vanney
player.
there.
Vanney was a
Nelson in
player.
there.
Now he's a coach. So he's thinking like a player. What player plays to leave? You know, because you're thinking about future advantage. That's never how you should be playing. You should be playing to win every single game, regardless of what future options could be waiting for you.
Well, you're right. But I mean, when you look at the tournament, a lot of the favorite teams bowed out quickly. Seattle, Atlanta, LAFC.
This is why soccer in North America is still shit.
Who would have picked?
You guys bow out. Come on.
Who would have picked a Portland-Orlando final?
No.
Well, listen.
I mean, Orlando's the host team, and like we see it in World Soccer all the time, in World Cup, Euro Cup. When you're the host team, even when there's no fans, apparently, you're at an advantage. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Especially with no fans. But
Maybe.
Orlando's one of the worst teams in MLS history all the time, and now they're in the final of this tournament. I love it because Nanny's on their team.
I was just
I'm a big Nanny fan. You know, Portuguese boy,
shout
love him.
out to the Portuguese, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I love this generation of Portuguese players. Can I just make a quick comment? Ronaldo, Nani, they're all from that era who won the Euro
The Euro
Cup.
2016.
Yeah. Phenomenal leadership, and I guarantee you a lot of these guys will be in the coaching level soon,
100%.
after they're done their careers. But I just want to say what classy players they are, and it doesn't matter if they're playing in the MLS, still in Europe, wherever they are. What a generation of players! Like it will go down in history as one of the best generation in Portuguese soccer.
100%, it will.
And I just love all those guys on that.
Yeah,
team.
they've been great to watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
as a
absolutely.
Portuguese guy myself, you know, I've been loving this team they've had, and I'm looking forward to the future, but I'm definitely going to miss it when Ronaldo,
absolutely.
now that Nanny's hung it up from international, Ronaldo's going to be next to go,
next.
and it's going to be sad to see.
Yep.
With Ronaldo too, I mean, these players come every century, I guess.
Although the Portuguese have had a good run, Luis Figo, man, you know
Figo
what? He
before
was
that.
on fire back in the day, my
Deco,
generation.
Pauleta.
Yeah.
Deco
So,
was a hell of
you know,
a player.
obviously, they produce Portuguese soccer. I know we're a TFC podcast, but that's where TFC should be looking for
It's
the
the Portuguese
future.
league, 100%.
Go to the Portuguese league because they sell their players to the world.
It's a selling league.
They
right.
develop them. They know how to
Sporting.
develop players. You want to learn how to
Sporting
develop
Lisbon is
soccer
one of the
players?
best development
got
clubs
it.
in Europe.
Well,
That's where Ronaldo
came
That's where
from.
Ronaldo
Nani.
came from, Quaresma, all that.
Yeah.
So why can't these North American clubs take
that
a
mentality.
lesson from these Portuguese clubs? Tell me, what is it?
'Cause
Is
it's
we're
still- it's
slow
soccer.
here? Our soccer IQ is so low that we can never catch up. We're
It's
so
the
far behind.
IQ, and it's the fact that soccer will never be seen as a top 3, top 4 sport in North America. Oh, sorry, North America, not including Mexico. Mexico soccer is number 1,
Yeah,
of course.
right.
But you look at the
Close.
States and Canada, you got your football, your basketball. Your baseball, your hockey. In the States, hockey
Although
and soccer
football
could be
numbers
there.
are dropping, and this is an opportunity for soccer to dazzle the American public.
Right.
And what I think we're failing at it right now. MLS has been a success overall after the '94 World Cup. It's taken off. You know, it's had its struggles, but obviously it's expanded all over North America, and it's going to continue to expand, possibly even into Mexico. They're saying.
Yeah.
So if that happens, this is the real deal league. This is the time to capture that broader audience and take away
Make it
market
the big
share from the
league.
NFL.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
Make it a big league. It's the biggest sport in the world. It's
Absolutely.
about time it takes
Yeah,
over
man.
North America
Listen,
as well.
the southern U.S. is full of Latinos. Latinos love soccer. Let's
Yeah.
call a spade a spade. You go to Texas, Florida, California, it's soccer crazy. They look at the success of LA Galaxy and LA FC,
Yeah.
right? Like let's replicate that in other markets, right? And just take the market share. But, you know, we're not taking advantage of the situation right now.
Well, you know, and speaking of taking advantage, The CPL's coming back, Canadian soccer, which we've said, not getting out of the whole North America standpoint, just focusing on Canada strictly and Canada soccer. CPL's back up and running. Finally, how long did it take them to announce anything?
Oh, man.
I mean, I was having a great time on Twitter.
Slow.
The players in the CPL were looking to Twitter and asking analysts on Twitter if there's any news because they weren't hearing anything. One of the guys, Sergio Camargo, he kept saying, all right, guys, I'm going to leak the news next day, and he's just joking around because no one was saying anything.
Wow.
Finally, they announced the Island Games. They're all going over to PEI or Charlottetown PEI to play this tournament. Do we care?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think anybody cares. And it's sad to say because I'm a big supporter of homegrown soccer. Like, I want to see my kids eventually be professional soccer players, but not in this kind of climate environment. Again, we don't have the leadership in this country to make quick, smart decisions. Like you said, these players are twiddling their thumbs waiting for an announcement. They can't make a decision.
They had a chance.
Yeah.
When COVID started in March,
July.
if they could have got their tournament going in May, or June, they would have had a chance to have all eyes in the country on them.
Nothing was
Instead,
on.
they're starting up now when you got the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, NFL training camps opening back up. You got MLS still going. You got European soccer, which is going to be starting back up again in a few weeks.
Champions League.
You got Champions League still running. They had a chance to have all eyes in Canada on them if they were able to start. Because their spring season supposed to start in April, right?
Yeah.
If they could have planned and facilitated a much quicker tournament in May, they would have had all eyes on them and would have been able to reach a much broader audience than they currently have. I blame whoever's running things behind the scenes at CPL big time on this.
Massive failure.
Yeah, they got the wrong guys. They got some ex-TFC guys. What's his name? The old...
Brennan.
No, not Brennan. Brennan's the coach.
He's a coach at York.
Listen, Brennan was a good defenseman.
He's very good.
You got to question his coaching abilities, but at the
He's
end
the
of
only
the day...
coach that can coach in Europe, apparently. I was hearing about it. He's got his certification from UEFA, too, that he
got
could.
the UEFA license?
He's the only one that has it in the CPL.
Yeah, he's probably going to coach on some deserted island in Sardinia or something, the local team. That's about it.
It's got to be somewhere cool because he's got to wear his scarves.
Yeah, a green one too. Look like the Green Lantern. But anyways, I truly believe it's a missed opportunity. Like you said, I think location is questionable too. And I think they needed to act quickly when they had the opportunity. I think it's too late. Guys are going to be
I feel
off.
bad for the players. They got some quality players there. They've been selling some guys off to Europe and everything. And they've got a quality roster of players on these teams.
Right.
And the games would have been good soccer, I feel like, to watch. Not the ownership, sorry, because it's not the team's issues.
Yep.
The league really fumbled the ball on this one hard.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Real hard.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the right leadership and management in any organization, it's not going to fly. And I can tell you unequivocally right now that they have the wrong leadership. And
it's
this
tough.
league will not make it if they continue on with this leadership. It might just because FIFA needs them to be here now that they're saying Canada's going to make the World Cup regardless of whether they qualify or not. But after this, you don't sell tickets, you ain't keeping this league alive. That's the bottom line. And you know what? The ridiculous television deals. Nico, you and I were talking about what One has done, right?
Yeah, One
so
Soccer.
Explain
Like
what they did?
One Soccer obviously is like a DAZN streaming service. They have all the CPL games all the time. Now you used to be able to buy like a day membership if you just want to watch the one game or like a month by month or yearly. Now you got to join this thing called the Collective,
right.
A team's collective. If I want to watch the games, I'm obviously, you know what, York, Forge, Hamilton. We had like Kwame on the show. We had Ryan Telford on the show. So we got you guys. I'd like to watch their games. I want to sign up. Yeah, sure. They'll give me a free jersey. And they'll give me a year subscription to watch all the games and all this stuff, but I'm paying out the ass for it.
Yeah.
For Canadian soccer? Are you kidding me? And you know what? One Soccer is trying to get a lot of leagues. They got, I think, the Mexican league on there. They got the Chinese league. If they were smart, they'd be going after the Portuguese league like we talked about. Throw some underrated European league teams that don't have any viewers over here. Get them on their channel so you can at least give these guys something. Hey, listen, sign up and watch this. You'll get a bunch of soccer.
That's right.
I'm not paying this much to watch one tournament there, here and there. Come on. It's looking good because it looks like CBC might be airing a few games.
Right.
So at least I can watch a few of them, but I'm definitely not signing up for the membership to watch all of these, especially with everything else on TV right now.
It's going to be
Raptors
a failure.
making a playoff run. Come on.
Absolutely.
Give
And
me a
if
break.
the Leafs have obviously lived to see another day, the Leafs continue on, no one's watching it. No one's watching
right.
it. Unfortunately,
Not
you know,
even
they made the
close.
same mistake last year when they scheduled CPL games
Same
the
as
same
TFC.
day as TFC. You know,
And it's sad because we
I don't
want to
get
see,
it.
we want to
Like,
see this league.
I actually don't get it.
Especially
I
when we
don't
want to
get
see
it.
this league succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Canadian soccer. It's got good players on it. We want to see them succeed.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, why are you trying to compete with these other leagues? Like, just have your own times. Like, you know what's another thing too? Germany, the Bundesliga. They started in what, May?
They were the first. They were the first league off.
Everyone
They were the first
watched.
one.
Everyone
watched, right? The ratings right through the roof.
Well, hey, listen. Just for fun, do we want to pick a winner of the Island Games for the podcast?
I got York.
I'm gonna go with Halifax Wanderers, just because they got island advantage.
Island advantage, it's working for Orlando
That's
and
right.
MLS is back,
Absolutely.
So
Let's go
all
with
right,
island
so you got
advantage.
Halifax, we got York.
I got York.
I'm gonna go Forge to repeat. They won the
there
first
you
year.
go.
They kept a lot of their core together. They lost a few players, but then
That's
they recently
true.
signed the other day former TFC man Mo Babuli.
Yeah.
He's gonna get in there. I think he's gonna crush some goals because that guy's got some talent.
That's a
I'm
great
giving
signing.
Forge the win on this tournament
right.
again. Shout out our boy Kwame Owuwa, who's been on the show before. Good luck to you in the tournament.
luck, Kwame.
All the best. Halford too. You're back
Yep.
with York 9. Best of luck with York in this tournament as well.
Absolutely.
So should we go across the pond now? We talked a little bit Canada.
Man. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the disappointing performance of Juventus.
My
This morning
God.
we heard the news that Sadi got sacked, the coach. We called it from before. I said he was the
We've
right
been
guy.
saying for day one.
You and I knew it. We could
Sarri's
see the
not
look
the
on
right
Ronaldo's
coach.
face
Yeah.
every game. Ronaldo would go talk to him, and Ronaldo's thinking in his mind, like, this is the wrong guy for this team.
He
And we
doesn't
knew
know how to coach
clueless.
those players.
Yeah.
He did a terrible job. And a lot of people are saying you can't blame Sarri. When you look at that team, and to be fair, when you look at that team, their midfield is utter garbage. Their defense had no chemistry. You brought in De Ligt. You have Bonucci there. You have Cellini still there. You have a right wing as your right back in Quadrado, who is terrible. You have no backup left back. Like this, the whole roster was set up to fail. Now, unfortunately, like you said, no matter what, you got to look top down. It's got to look at the coach. You got to look at the people. You also got to look at the people that are building that team, though. And it just kills me, as we spoke about before, a Portuguese player. You wasted another year of Ronaldo's career. This is the first time I believe in 10 years Ronaldo hasn't made it past the round of 16 in Champions League.
Yep, since 2009, 2010.
Which is embarrassing.
It is
embarrassing for a minute at that time. And if not for a lack of trying, Ronaldo put in a beautiful goal yesterday.
two goals. Yeah.
Left-footed,
top
unbelievable.
corner, unbelievable goal.
And then he had a free kick that was saved.
So again, it's very similar, and I'd like to make the analogy to TFC. You got this team full of all-stars, right? You got Dybala, Higuain, Ronaldo. It never ends, right? Same thing with TFC. At the end of the day, you can have an all-star cast. I remember Real Madrid had the same problem in the Beckham days. You got this all-star cast, but if it just doesn't jive sometimes,
put it
and if the
together.
coach
Doesn't gel, yeah.
cannot create the mindset and vision that everyone believes in, they'll never win, regardless of how much talent's on the team.
So who does Juventus bring in as their coach?
So I tell you who I'd love to see, but he doesn't have enough experience yet. But I would say if he coaches the Primavera team or one of these other teams for a couple of years, I want to see Andrea Pirlo be the coach.
He's coaching. Didn't he get announced to coach their U21?
Yeah. So he's coaching the
Wow.
youth. He's coaching the youth. So it's too early to put him in right
too
now.
early.
Yeah.
I agree. It's too early.
But they
Hey, listen, it wasn't too early for Zidane when they put him in at Real Madrid.
I was just about to say, I think if Zidane leaves Madrid, that is my personal candidate. I think what he's done with Madrid and that Champions League experience that Juve's dying to have.
Zidane would be unreal. Don't undercut Antonio Conte, though. There's
That's
rumors
true.
of him leaving.
Right. Yeah,
There's rumors
true.
of
Not
him
being
leaving
happy.
Inter.
He called
He
out
is
the
not happy.
ownership
You know what?
in public
He
in
is
a
not
news
happy.
conference.
That
So he's
could
not
be him
happy.
coming back.
Yeah.
You got some free agents still, like Pochettino still out
Yeah.
there. You got some names for them to bring in. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see who they bring in.
Absolutely.
But it's good for them to get a little switch. Hopefully they can do better next year. They got to build a bit of a better team. But well, Champions League still goes on. As we film this, it'll come out next week. But right now we're still on the second day of the round of 16. So.
Yeah.
Bayern and Chelsea play today. Napoli and Barca play today. Who is your pick going the rest of the way for Champions League?
My personal pick is I want to see Napoli. I want to see an Italian team. I love Gattuso. He's Calabrese. He's a motivating type of coach that I'm talking about. He's a guy who can take a team that's a little bit lackluster and turn them into a high-performance team just with their mindset. He's capable of doing that. He is the motivator that Juventus needed to win the Champions League. So I want to see Napoli go all the way. Southern Italian team. I'm happy if Gattuso does it because he can stick it to those AC Milan people who knocked him out. Shame on you, Northern Italians, for taking out a Calabrese Torone. But anyways, I want to see Napoli go all the way.
Dante?
I got Man City, and I think it's quite straightforward. I think the way they're playing right now, they look really hungry. Sterling looks peak form right now. I just love the way they're playing soccer right now. They're smashing teams in the Premier League, left, right, and center. Every game's like 5-6-0. But I just love the mindset that Guardiola has with them right now. Like, he has them like an army, like they're ready to go.
Another great coach.
coach.
This is an exciting time for Champions League because it's only one game because it's a new format. But really, when you look at the field, there's no one team where you look at and goes, okay, they should run through everyone. Because like when before, you had like years past, you had your Real Madrids and your Barcelonas that you knew were going to go and do well. Last year was a bit different too because you had Liverpool come through and make the win. But this year, you look at all the teams. Barcelona's aging. Messi is having the same thing happen to him. What Ronaldo's having at Juventus, his teammates are not able to help him anymore.
It's crazy.
They're on an island there by themselves.
Actually coming to Serie A. Is that possible?
I've heard Inter Milan.
Can you imagine that? You got Zlatan, you got Ronaldo,
and Messi in the same league.
The luck for the Italians, man.
That would be insane.
It would be great on Serie A. I'd love to see it.
I think the Italian economy might just explode.
Yeah, it'll boom. Just
they need it. They need it with
They
COVID.
need it, man. You bring Messi, the economy's gonna boom.
But and then you look at teams like Barcelona. I don't think they have what it takes to win it this year. They're not looking too well. You got your teams like Man City, who always struggle in Champions League. Like they always struggle.
I know. I just have a gut feeling.
You know what? Atalanta could make some noise.
Yeah. Hey, they got
PSG in the next round. It's one game.
Papu Gomez.
Mbappe's out. PSG hasn't played a competitive game since the shutdown in March. They've had a few tune-up games, but that's nothing compared to real soccer.
Neymar too is
so that's what I'm saying. Atalanta can make a run, but I'm going to stick with what I'm wearing.
There you go.
Go the Canadian boy Fonzie. He's going to show Chelsea again what he's about.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Rookie. And you know what?
Incredible.
Bayern Munich were at the top of their level in the Bundesliga when they came back. They won it very convincingly. They were winning in the Champions League convincingly. They've had their legs behind them.
Yeah.
I think right now they're poised in the best position to make a deep run. But again, one game, anyone can win this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a one game now.
Absolutely.
No home advantage. You're in a neutral zone. One game, keep going through. Anyone can win it. A team like Atalanta could be a real dark horse and make a push.
I agree.
I'm telling you.
I agree.
And not only that, I love their coach.
Yeah.
I absolutely love their coach and just the type of style that they're playing. It's really attack-minded, but they have a wicked counter-attack.
Yeah.
I have never seen a counter-attack like Atalanta has in so long, and that's why they score so many goals.
Yeah.
Because you make a mistake, and they're going to punish
They're on you.
And listen,
They're gonna
look
punish
at
you.
PSG. They're a built for attacking team, but you can get past them.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with Mbappe out. I think that's
very
so
weak.
huge. I mean, it's unfortunate.
massive.
I would love to see Mbappe come back and play in Champions League. It was terrible. And it was one of those tune-up games that he got hurt. Brutal. But with him not there, a team that's hasn't really had a competitive game since, what, March?
Yeah.
That's what, 6, 7,
It was a
6,
reckless,
4 or 5 months
It was a
now?
reckless challenge.
Atlanta has a real chance to go through, and then that's the quarters. Then you got your semis and your finals. Like, they have a chance of being a real dark horse in this tournament. Although I'd love to see the Canadian kid, Alphonso
absolutely.
Davies, win it. You know,
That would be incredible. That would be.
But the underdog stories are so cool,
yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
I
A
know.
nice Atalanta win. Lyon, unfortunately, I don't see them making it much further. They got lucky winning 1-0, and then the couple penalties yesterday both penalties were brutal.
Yeah.
They were it's makeup calls.
But that's the thing, Niko, right? It would have been 1-0. This game should be an extra time.
Yeah, you know what? That's what bothers me too. I've always been a proponent of. I absolutely hate the away goals rule.
Yeah.
I hate
Especially
it too.
now because Lyon got a home game. Juventus' home game wasn't a home game. There's no one there watching.
There's no fans.
So there's no fans. How does that
How
work
is
as a
that
home
fair?
game? How is that a beneficial? I hate the away goals rule. I always do. If it's tied, just go straight to penalty kicks. This home and away crap, I don't buy it anymore. I don't like it
ridiculous.
at all.
It's ridiculous.
It's not. I'm not a fan. I think they should get rid of it completely. I know they do in some areas. Now I think the FA Cup doesn't have the they don't do that anymore. I think it's got to be wiped out everywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if there's no fans, you definitely
Especially no fans. How are you going to have an away goal rule? Come
because
on.
that's the whole thing, right? You go into a hostile environment, and it's like, okay, it's harder to score a goal there. I get it, but now with this going on,
It's a level playing field.
yeah,
Level playing field. So we got Bayern,
Man City,
Napoli.
and Napoli. All right. Well, hopefully one of us is right. We
Okay,
got like
that's
a
it.
3 of 8 chance
You
right
got
now.
it.
So hopefully one of us hits the nail on the head
If
and we can
Napoli
glow.
wins, I'm buying a bushel of tomatoes from Cataldi and I'm donating it to one of our viewers. Okay? Anyone on this podcast, say go Napoli, make a
Okay.
comment. First person to do that gets a bushel of tomatoes on me from Cataldi.
I'll match. If Bayern win the
Okay.
Champions League, Toe will buy a bushel of tomatoes
That's right.
from Cataldi.
Just for Davies, because he's a Canadian kid.
and Man City as well. You can add them to that as well.
All right, so that's great. You know what? Champions League, it's going to be some good soccer to watch now. And then they're picking up again. The
Yeah.
leagues start now,
Yeah.
September they're
September,
starting?
Italy,
So-
September 12th, I believe.
Yeah, so you got your league starting back up too, so there's going to be no shortage of soccer. So
No.
we'll be here back to talk to you guys. MLS, they're talking about restarting. We don't really know the details yet because Toronto FC is going to be stuck in Toronto, and with the border closing and everything, they told the
Exactly.
Jays that the Jays can't travel. So
right.
I'm guaranteeing you that
crazy.
Toronto's not going to have people here, so they're going to have to figure something out with that too.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor of playing like a round robin just with Vancouver and Montreal. Oh my God, that'd be ugly.
That'd be awful.
Oh, that'd be ugly.
Are you
but,
kidding
Not
me?
good. Not
But we'll
good.
see. Hopefully they come back. We'll be able to get together and talk a bit more on
sure,
Toronto
man.
FC soccer.
For sure.
Stay tuned, guys, for more action and more videos of all of us. You can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere, Google Play. And we want to thank you so much for staying tuned to this. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, Cataldi Fresh Market, Check them out, guys. Make sure to get your tomatoes. They're coming very soon.
We'll find Vanney's house. We'll get our bushels of tomatoes. We're coming. I'm just kidding. Kind of.
Take care, guys.
That was him. Take care, guys.